Well, thanks for having me again. My name is Diarmid Campbell. I'm with the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 520. I'm an assistant business agent and organizer. I've been in this position going on 8 years, and I kind of fell into it. When I moved down here, I was doing everything from the oil field to blood rendering plant to construction, and when the 7-story add-on at Shannon was being built, I got a call from the union, went out there, started working, and then moved into this position and been with them ever since. So first and foremost, I'm an organizer. And what that means is I go out and I monitor our industry. I talk to contractors and to electricians about the benefits of being union and what all can come with that, far as everything from insurance to pay to training, the whole 9 yards. And then far as with the industry, monitoring it, the licensing, prevailing wage and Davis-Bacon enforcement, everything that goes with it to ensure that this industry can provide that good life that I've seen it give to so many tradespeople. So it is growing. I will say this. Through the years of lack of licensing enforcement and a lot of electricians not being licensed, the actual number is kind of hard to grasp. When you're licensed, of course, it goes through TDLR, kind of easier to track. But I do know not only electrical, but trades in general, they are growing. We are seeing a lot of the young people that are interested, as well as a lot of people that are moving to this area that were in the trades, trying to find work in it. So yes, I was an electrician myself for a short time. My main trade that I came up through was HVAC when I was living in Oklahoma. I actually went to a trade school, worked for a company doing the sheet metal work side of it, all the duct work. And then when I moved to Texas, that's when I fell into the electrical industry. So construction has been in my background for some years through different trades. But an electrician, I was in the field for about 2 years before I came into the office. So yes, been living here going on 15 years, but all my family's from here. I've been coming here my whole life on both sides, my mom and my dad's. So San Angelo and the community, it is home for me. I believe in it and I want it to prosper and to do well. As far as the skilled labor side, you're looking at everything from laborers or people that are putting up the fences before the project goes up, cleaning up the job site, prepping it, getting it ready, to plumbers, pipe fitters, sheetrock, bricklayers, electricians, all host of different trades, and even then as it progresses, you start looking at landscaping. Those individuals have to be brought in to finish that out, make it presentable. So your typical phases, right, is coming up from the ground, you're breaking ground, you're gonna have your heavy equipment operators moving that dirt, getting it ready so it can be built on. Then you're bringing out your concrete and your rebar people so they can then start setting the planks and all of that to build the forms and the foundation. Then you get your steel workers out there, your iron workers that are then setting the walls, so the frame work can go up. Then you're bringing in carpenters, you're bringing in your sheetrockers, then your electricians, your plumbers. So as the phases progress, those workers go out. And they're there from different phases of the start and then different phases of the ending, right? We have to trim out, put face plugs on, all of that kind of stuff. So throughout the life of the project, you're gonna see multiple skilled trades out there throughout multiple times. Well, first and foremost, the labor standards that unions bring and can help enforce, right? Because we believe on these size of projects that there should be standards to protect not only the community and the resources, but the workers, right? These kind of jobs, when we are able to get them and bring these standards, we're able to bring workman's comp, right? You gotta love the state of Texas. I believe we're one of the few that doesn't require a contractor to carry workman's comp if their worker gets injured. Well, these big projects, those are some of the benefits that we're able to bring. We're able to bring insurance, not only health, but dental, vision, those kind of things, retirements. All those are included in the packages, as well as those wages that can transform lives for the individuals that are working them. Our main thing when a union tries to step onto these projects and be a community partner, it's to ensure that the community that it's being built in is going to benefit, because we live here. There is no point in building a project that is going to take advantage of its workers and its community. Why would we want that if this is where we have to live? So being union, and when we approach these jobs, we try to bring those high standards and transparency aspects to them so everyone can benefit. So it can be an uphill battle in a right-to-work state, but one of the things is we are international. We have some of the biggest contractors in the world. My understanding, Abilene and Amarillo, the contractor that's doing that, Rosedin Electric, is the third largest, I believe. So we're able to bring a giant workforce to these areas to make sure the work gets done. But the benefit of it being union is that it will always go to the local workforce first. We ensure that every local hand, from someone that has no experience making sandwiches at Subway to a master electrician that wants to get on that job, has that opportunity before we bring in any traveler to fill it. And then when that job winds down, it will be the local workforce that stays on that job until the end. All the travelers will go home before. So with that, that is a benefit we can bring. We are trying to have those conversations here in San Angelo. We're hoping that the people that can bring us to the table are willing to reach out and actually have that dialogue, because this isn't something new for us. We're building these centers all across the U.S., Canada, Puerto Rico, even if they're coming there, because we have locals in Puerto Rico as well. Well, what I've seen it mean for families, not only in Abilene, but for San Angelo workers that I've been able to send to the data center in Abilene, was paying off their houses, paying off cars, not having to decide between rent and groceries or a doctor visit. I have seen individuals make the most money that they've ever made, and it's because these contractors can't afford it, right? Because the customers can. They're needing them built. And through that, not only the pay, but the benefits, the retirement packages that they're getting, the insurance that covers not only them, but their whole family. They are getting options that have never been on the table. And a lot of that is the benefit of being union and being able to work these jobs. Because these jobs, they have a lifespan that can go anywhere from 5 to 20 to 30 years. So an individual could spend their whole career on this job making top wages, premium benefits, and being able to actually provide for their family and have their bread and roses too. So, of course, going with the phases, just the general construction, right? As they put more phases, that's going to mean more work. But this is what a lot of people don't realize, or maybe haven't thought about, is that when the project's over, you're going to need the maintenance agreements. That goes from electricians to plumbers to the landscapers. And then the lifespan of the technology that's in these centers, my understanding is that it's good for about 3 years. In 3 years, you've got to go in and it's got to be updated, right? It's like that with automobiles. It's like that with any new technology coming out. Well, right there, you now have in 3 years a job that's going to go to a local contractor that can put their guys to work, and it may be a little longer than just your typical maintenance agreement, right? You're just going out there to fix this and that. Out of an actual change out, you may have a couple months worth of work there. That is how that can benefit, and what I think a lot of people sometimes overlook is the work that can come after it as well. You can ask the data centers to help bring that infrastructure. If it's on energy, have them build the solar panels to help generate that. and this may be a hot button topic too, but have that discussion about the many nuclear plants that they're looking at that can provide more than enough energy to power these huge hyperscales without having to tap onto the grid, as well as them bringing their own resources. There are ways that these data centers can power themselves. It's just the community stepping up and having these honest conversations. Because if it is one of those things where we know it can be a drain on it, well then tell them, look, if you want to build here, have all your roofs with solar so that then it can be pumped back into the grid, or that's what you draw from. Or have it where we have that talk of those nukes that can be on there to help power it, because not only will it bring that power, but now you're creating jobs in a whole nother industry that are good paying jobs. So they're strengthening your local economy. We feel that if you're not willing to protect the workers, and when I say we, the IBEW, our unions, then it'll fall short, and we can see then other areas being taken advantage of. But when you have those discussions on the labor standards and you're able to put those in place, it then opens the door to put other standards in. And this is included in the proposal that we have sent out, the IBEW, here locally, to our local officials, highlighting this. You put on there restrictions when we're in drought levels. You put clawback clauses in there, stuff like that. And you then actually have real conversations with the community. You have to be transparent on it. You have to show them the benefits. And yes, show them that this could be something that could happen. But you know what? We're going to put regulations where if it does, we're able to stop it, nip it in the bud, and get it back on track. And it's just having those discussions and honestly listen to community partners that are coming up that can offer some of these solutions to the community. But it starts with an honest dialogue. Okay. So, really the whole thing with this that I would like people to see is the labor side of it, and how knowing how this affects your local workers. With these projects, right, we've been able to help negotiate funding for schools, funding for volunteer fire departments to get new vehicles and equipment, funding for the roads and that infrastructure so it doesn't cost the community anything. Through it, we've been able to see the union as well as the communities, the impact with education. Take the SMART local, which is the sheet metal union there in the Amarillo-Lubbock area. Their closest training center was in New Mexico. Through these projects that are going on, they have now been able to secure enough funding to build a training center there in Lubbock. Well, that right there is going to help the community. It's going to bring construction jobs, it's going to bring teaching jobs, and it's going to provide now another outlet for a local student or individual that is thinking of going into the trades to be able to stay local and contribute to their economy. I've seen that when these jobs are done right and the protections are there, resources can be protected. Benefits can be achieved that communities didn't think were possible. The pay scales, those come up, they're high. I can say that in Abilene as well as Amarillo, you're looking at pay scales from $32.24 to $58.84 an hour for a journeyman electrician, and then the scale bumps down through percentages with that. They're offering double time on overtime, per diems. These are the kind of things that a lot of these small areas haven't seen, haven't been able to experience. And these kind of projects can bring it. It can bring that security aspect. We're talking about time frames and what these jobs actually, or who these jobs actually employ far as number of workers. Well, you're looking at anywhere from 5 to 20 years. You're looking at anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 workers. not just electrician, but workers that these projects can employ over the lifespan of the project. So, I've heard a lot of the talk come up about how these jobs are transient. Well, first and foremost, construction work is transient. We build projects to get completed and for us to move on to the next job. But these jobs can last anywhere from 5 to 20 years. They can employ anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 workers, not just electricians, but workers from heavy equipment to laborers to plumbers, pipe fitters, all of that. So with these transient jobs, they're there for some years. And with an industry that is a transient industry because it is construction, these are good long-term jobs in an area, especially when the entities will do everything to hire that local workforce. You now have anywhere from, on the low end, 5 to 10 years of being able to employ anyone in that local workforce that would like to go to work, and they're going to make good wages and benefits. So ideally, we'd love to talk to the developer. They are the ones developing it, but we want to have this discussion with everyone. We want them to know that if jobs like this come and projects like this come, because that is one of the first questions, who's going to work on it? How can you supply that workforce so it can get done? We come in and we assure that entity, the developer, the city, all of that if this project comes, it will be staffed correctly, and it will be done professionally and to the highest of safety standards. Work with the community partners that are here that have been on these projects, that have insight and have helped negotiate these dealings between the community and these entities. The local leaders need to listen to the constituents and listen to their concerns and take them wholeheartedly, right? If someone has a concern, it shouldn't be dismissed. But they need to have those conversations. And if they're hard, they still need to be had. It's the transparency and it's the willingness to work with the community that can get people behind these projects. What I'd like viewers to take away from all of this would be that these projects can benefit and everyone can win. They're not perfect, but ensuring that labor standards and building standards can be put in place can really bring comfort and can start that dialogue in getting other safety guardrails to watch out for the community and protect our resources. I want people to know that it does start with the labor, because if they are showing that they care about the workforce and those labor standards, it rolls right into then the community and the environmental standards as well. Thanks for listening. I can be reached here at my office right next to Central High School at 909 Caddo Street. You can follow us on Facebook, IBEW 520 San Angelo, or you can email me or call me. My number's on our website. I would love to talk to anyone and have these conversations. I'm willing to sit down. I'm willing to show you the proposals that we've been able to put out there, that I've put out there. And I'm willing to talk to you about how a community can benefit and we don't have to lose out on these jobs. Because this is the thing. If we're not responsible stewards and actually have this conversation and try to get these standards in place and just kick it down the road, these data centers are going to be built. And it's going to be built in a community that maybe is going to give away the bank with everything because they're seeing the dollar signs. So why don't we be good stewards of our sister community and actually try to get the best benefit out of this? If they're coming, then let's be good stewards and make sure they come responsible and can be held accountable.